we gonna do this forever.
Rock it out, rock it, hey.
Okay, else forever, never know.
Come on, let me rock out, yeah.
Fella, we at it again, people.
I'm a rocker, hey. Rock it out, rock it, hey.
Start with your 2x4s on a flat surface. Make sure both ends are flush and then clamp together. Okay, so with your 2x4s clamped at the top and the bottom, measure where you'd like your frame or bracing. This is where your aquarium will sit. Using a square, a tape measure, and a carpenter's pencil will help. This is where my first brace will go, 4 inches from the bottom. Briefly showing where my bottom and top brace will go. Make sure you give yourself plenty of room in between tanks for netting fish and maintenance. So I don't have a bunch of fancy tools to cut dados, so this is how I cut dados. Simple, easy, and this technique always works. Take your chisel or screwdriver and place it anywhere in there. You just start busting the pieces out like that. Just like that. Then you'll start taking out all the pieces, and then you should have your gap for your 2x4. If you measure correctly, that's where your 2x4 will lay, in between there for your top or bottom bracing. Now once you're at this point, you can either take your hammer and chisel and clean all this out, but what I'll do is just take my circular saw and just try to clean it up, going back and forth through the joint like that to try to clean it up the best as you can. You don't have to get too fancy here, just enough so the 2x4 will sit flush. Now here comes the fun part. It's time to assemble. This is where you kind of want to be critical and make sure you are at the right length. So if your tank is 48 inches, make sure your inside diameter is 49. You always want to make sure and pre-drill your holes, so have 2 drills. That always comes in handy. Another fun part, it's time to paint. So 90% of the stands in the fish room are black, so that's what I'm going to stay with. Super cheap paint from Walmart. I think it's like $1 a can. It works great. Just like I said, nothing too fancy. Starting to do the fitment for the bracing that'll go underneath the tank. There they are there. Again, nothing too fancy, just the pieces you will see. The stuff underneath the tank, no need to paint that. Some touch-up will need to be done after you get the screws in. Notice the difference. So still moving on with the project, getting the rest of the bracing put in. This is the bottom of the tank. There's the show side of the aquarium stand. Here's the stand finally completed. Looks pretty good and very well built. Enjoy.